This is a WKYT podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Conversations with Victor and normally Andrea, but Andrea's off this week.
I can do my best Andrea impersonation.
That's right. So I got the best fill-in I could think of, Mr. Jim Caldwell. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, but if I do an Andrea impression, you're going to have to take those earbuds out of your ear because it'll bust your eardrum.
Well, I don't want people to be crashing on the interstate while they're listening to this.
All right, I won't be Andrea, but thank you for asking me to come along.
Yeah, well, I was excited to do it. I thought today would be a good opportunity to meet one of the newest members of the WKYT team. And since you're spending all morning training her, why don't you introduce her?
Her name is Megan. What's your last name? I'm just kidding. She has a great last name because it's really my real first name. James. Megan James. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Jim.
Okay. That's it. That's all we're doing.
All right, that was it. That's good. So, Megan, have you been on air here yet, or is today your first day?
So I've been on air. I was on air, Tuesday? Mm-hmm. And then I've been on air this morning for the 4:30 and the 10. I'll be back on at 12:30. And then after that, I'll be doing weekends.
Weekend mornings.
Okay, yeah. So I have been on that shift before. You will enjoy falling asleep at like 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. Mm-hmm.
But it's okay because it's very relaxed out there, and you know, we have a really good audience on weekend mornings.
Yeah,
a lot of people because it's a little later, more people are up. Yeah, you're really going to enjoy that. Tell us where
I don't mean to scare you off too much.
I'm reeling her back in. Tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised. I went to the University of Missouri in Columbia, and there I studied atmospheric science. I worked at KOMU8 News, an NBC affiliate, for 3 years, and then I graduated and I came here.
So you came straight out of college. Now, Victor, you know that's a pretty good job.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially for Lexington to be your first on-air. Well, sorry, I guess. So you worked some. So this isn't your technically first on air, but to be your first away from out of college.
Not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
pretty
exciting.
It was a step above just your average college station, so I got really good experience there. I used to work weekend nights.
So what are your impressions of Lexington so far?
I love it. Everyone is so friendly. When I was at the furniture store picking out my couch, the lady gave me a hug, so I felt very at home because I'm a big hugger. I loved it.
Sir, I mean, here, do you think everybody gets a hug with their couch?
I don't think I would have gotten one. No,
because you're
what about
creepy.
You, Jim? That's probably what it is too. You put off a pretty creepy vibe.
Of course, I'm creepy, you know.
And so now you've learned from Jim Caldwell, our system, I guess.
Yep.
What's that been like?
It's been a pretty easy transition. All the graphics that we use are the same as my old station, so didn't really have to learn too terribly much there. Just kind of how our show rundown goes, and meeting everyone.
Her biggest problem, and this is going to be her biggest problem so far, is like somebody brought donuts down earlier to the weather center, and they said, I guess they said, "Do you want?" I wasn't in there. And they said, "Do you want these?" And she's like, "Maybe Jim will," or whatever she said. So then I came back, and I'm like, and she's like, "Hey, I've got these donuts. Somebody left them." I was like, "Who?" And then she just gave me a blank look like, I have no idea.
I was mic'd up. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings because I am just terrible at names.
So for those of you who've never been to the station, there is a giant wall with everyone's picture and name. Uh-huh. And whenever I was first hired, a couple times a week I would just go and look.
You did that too?
Try it. Yeah, because there's so many people. Yeah. I mean,
see, I did that too. On weekends, there's a little more downtime when I first started, and I would do the same thing, just kind of look and like, okay, and then you just learn.
So that's going to be your best friend.
Yep.
And it's also let you know when people have left and you didn't even realize it because you'll see a gap. And you're like, oh.
True. If you missed the email about it, that's a good way to find out.
The picture's gone.
Yep.
And sometimes we do funny things with those. Just leave them.
They're scattered all over the place.
They're scattered all over the place.
The last meteorologist that left, Chris Johnson, she technically produced. She technically took
his spot.
Yeah, he took his spot there for a few days before we put the new weather center in. I hadn't renamed it with his picture, the Chris Johnson Memorial Weather Center.
I think we have the Joe and Angie Mondelli Memorial Edit Bay. And,
right. One of them left for another station.
Well,
we won't talk about him.
No, we try not to do that around here.
You want to spill the tea to me?
We try to be positive on this show.
Okay, cool. So no tea spilling.
Well, as soon as Jim's gone, maybe next episode we'll dish on him. Nothing, don't worry about it.
Have you got a better episode next week?
Oh, well, I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else is going to fill in for. And do you want to be her permanent fill-in?
You know what? I think it says in my last contract that I'm the permanent fill-in for when she's out.
Okay, well, this is nice. It also help reduce some of the animosity between us. Jim and there's a lot of tension there. I'm trying to figure out what kind of tension it is.
Oh no.
I hate you.
There you go.
See what I mean? There it is.
See, there it was.
What's your impression of the staff here? Because you can go places and trust me, I know sometimes people just aren't friendly. But
Sometimes you have cliques. Sometimes yeah.
But here everybody's been what?
Everyone is so warm, so genuine. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it before. Just really that large a group of people being that warm as a whole, it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible.
I believe you, but I also don't think you could say otherwise.
Well, you could.
But I think it helps.
I could be less generous with my
That's
wording
true.
of it.
You could be like, everybody's been very nice.
But the thing is, as she's been sitting down here, we've had several people
I'm
just
sure.
come out of their
Say
way,
hi.
just come say hi. Say, hey, I'm so and so, and so it's been really good. But people in Kentucky, and a lot of people are from Kentucky, like
Yeah.
Victor's from Kentucky as well. We're friendlier than most.
I'm an outsider coming from the Midwest,
Yeah,
Missouri.
you'll be accepted pretty quickly. That's one of the things we've talked about some is people who come to Lexington and they think, okay, I'll spend 2 or 3 years here. I'll get a resume, and then they just end up staying for years and years. I mean, Lee Kay and Kristen, how long have they been here?
They've been here. She's
love
been here
it.
longer than him, and
Yeah.
So and they both love it. This is home to them now.
I can understand why. The people are great. There's so much to do around Lexington.
Have you done any?
It's a rockin' city.
It is. There's a lot of things to do. Anything you could be into. So I guess what are you into outside of meteorology?
So I like to run.
Okay.
And with running, I also like to eat a lot of food.
We
I had mac and cheese for breakfast.
carbon up. That's good. We can recommend plenty of good restaurants. We are good at that. And then I guess you can get up with Amber as far as all the
Yeah.
good running trails.
She's good. Yeah, Amber's fantastic with all that. Now, you told me a story about why you got into weather. Tell it. Why don't you share it with Victor and everybody listening too about your just true fear of storms?
Of course. So believe it or not, I used to be absolutely terrified of storms. Back in 2003, I was, 6, 7 years old. There was a
Let's just
huge...
stop there for a second.
I was
so
well in my
feel-
20s then.
okay. I think I was starting my first job at another station.
I'm a young one. Gotta admit it. But there was a huge tornado outbreak, took out a couple of houses really close to me within a mile radius. Really just shook me up. And after that, my mom, she would turn on one of the local channels. I'd watch the chief meteorologist talk about the storms, and I found a lot of comfort in knowing what was going on.
Do you remember that meteorologist's name?
Yep. Mike Thompson at Fox 4 News. He was
So
great.
It was one of those
So many
things that
years.
the more you learned about it, the more it calmed your fears because you could be able to have just a grasp on what was happening.
Oh, yeah. I firmly believe that knowledge is power, and that's something I'm so excited to give back to other people.
And, that's the thing. Most of the time I'm in a weather center, and I have been for the past almost 20 years when in severe weather situations. And the more you understand about it, the less scared you are. Now, there's plenty to be afraid of.
It's scary sometimes.
You
yeah.
know? But I know what I need to do to stay safe. And that's why, like during the severe weather coverage she's talking about. That's why you stay on, just to tell everybody that and keep it in their minds.
And I think one of the things I appreciate about you all, too, is anytime you all are talking about it being serious, I know it's serious. I mean, you all don't have a tendency to hype up stuff that isn't. And so I think that brings people reassurance, too, because there's plenty of times when you could maybe try to make it bigger, but instead you're like, okay, well, this is, if you're here, then it's an issue, but other places. So I don't know. I've appreciated that.
I think if you overhype a situation when it really doesn't need to be hyped up at all, you lose a lot of trust, and people lose a lot of trust in you. So when something big actually does happen, they don't really think something big's happening.
They're calling the station, want to know why their show isn't on. Yeah.
It does happen a lot. But it was out of fear, that her passion for this business was born, and a lot of people are like that.
Well, that's
So,
awesome to
yeah.
tackle it head on, and then to use that fear to learn from it, and all right.
No
nice.
more running to the basement when thunder strikes. Thunder roars. My bad.
That's all right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all have our growing pains. Trust me. If I had a list of weird things I've said on air here.
Well, Travis came down a minute ago. Travis is our digital executive producer of all digital content. You weren't in here, and he told me, he said, because I've got my original weathercast on Facebook. You've seen it.
I have seen it. It is a thing.
And he said, you need to let her watch that. And I was like, all right. So I'm going to show it to her here in a few minutes.
Well, and you
I'll
just
show you mine.
You just
I look
watch
like
people.
I'm 12.
Well,
So that was
I
what,
still
2
do.
years ago? Yeah,
that was 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years. Oh wow. I mean, but that's one of the other interesting things, especially if you're here for a while, is watching people improve. Adam has improved so much in the time that he's been here. Because I was the morning anchor. I mean, I don't want to talk out of turn for me, but I think I've also improved quite a bit too. Because we were both. It was my first time anchoring, and he was fairly new here. And our morning show, it started off a little rough. I wouldn't know when to toss till. It would just. It's kind of awkward. And by the end of it, I felt like we were so smooth.
Practice. You know, it's just like with anything else in life. You know, a little bit of practice gets you better. The more you do it, the better you get. Or the more you do it, the plateau comes a little earlier, and that's all you can get to.
Before you
know?
realize, oh, this guy isn't going to get any better.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get rid of that guy. But
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
the limits.
That's nice.
Push it.
So what kind of food do you like?
I like mac and cheese.
That's okay.
I like barbecue.
I'm trying to think of because there's two really good barbecue places I can think of right off the top of my head.
Can it rival Kansas City barbecue though?
I don't know. That's true.
a little skeptical.
You kind of come in, having already experienced some of the
The
best.
best of the best.
Red State barbecue, I would put. I mean, I've traveled around a couple different states and had a lot of different barbecues, and I think I would put it up there with anything else that I've had.
it's a tight little quaint spot. I mean, there are just a few. I mean, there are not many seats in there.
And you have to be very careful because that road stays busy.
Yes.
And I literally almost got hit the other day because somebody in front of me was turning and somebody behind didn't hear, and you hear this screeching of brakes.
But totally worth the food. Totally worth the food.
I'm risking death. Then the other one is Lyle's Barbecue. They're
I've never
also
had Lyle's.
the one close to us is over off Clay's Mill, and it's just good. Their barbecue's fine, but their sides are what I really like. They've got really good mac and cheese,
Do they have cheesy corn?
potato salads, potato salad. You mean like corn with cheese?
Oh
What's
yeah,
cheesy
it's
corn?
like melted cheese. It's corn, basically in a vat of queso that's not spicy. It's the best thing ever.
That sounds amazing. No, I
Sometimes
don't think
put
they have
bacon
cheesy
in
corn, or
it,
else I would have
sometimes
remembered that.
ham. Yep, so I need to bring some cheesy corn here. Since you guys haven't had it, I need to bring some gooey butter cookies. Jim, you and I have talked about these. And some toasted ravioli.
Toasted
I have had
ravioli.
toasted
Oh,
ravioli.
I hadn't
Yeah,
had.
they're
I'd never even
delicious.
heard of it until she told me about it.
Oh yeah, both are Missouri staples, more so on the St. Louis side of things, but that's where most of my family is from.
It sounds like she needs to be involved in the next cookout draft.
Yes. Oh wait,
Did Jim
what
tell
is
you about
that?
this?
No, do tell me.
I was the winner. Doesn't matter.
He doesn't want to toot his own
So
horn,
I'm gonna
but
beat you this year.
it's possible. So yeah, I think may do one for 4th of July. That's what Kristen possibly said.
Rock
So
on.
we did. It was like a fantasy football draft, except we did a cookout menu. Each person got 2 proteins, 3 sides, 2 drinks, and 2 desserts. And so yeah, and then there was a rotation. You'd pick and come back. And
And 2 of you may have liver issues.
I didn't do so well. Andrea, so everybody got water and ice.
Alcohol.
That was a given.
Oh.
But Andrea only picked alcohol for her drinks.
Oh, yep.
Just straight up bourbon
Uh-huh.
and margaritas.
So no kids allowed.
Perfect.
Jim
yep.
didn't have any alcohol at
21
his,
and over.
but he still won anyway. So good
Cause
for him.
it's
Let's relive this. Well, we didn't actually talk to you much about it afterwards because you had to go.
I was in a rush. I had to
Yeah.
go do something else, but it was a good win. It was a good day
Yeah.
for America because I had America's
Steak
items:
and chicken, baked beans.
apple pie, cherry pie.
Yeah,
America,
Can't go wrong.
America.
it was very much like an old man cookout.
But those are the best cookouts.
That was the best. Well, it
the
reminded me of a
truest.
Powell County cookout. Except I don't think we would have had steak. We just had like fried bologna or something.
There's nothing wrong with fried
Nothing wrong
bologna.
with I had fried bologna recently. I hadn't had it in a long time, and I went back to I went to a cookout in Powell County. Like,
I'd never been to a cookout with it.
yeah, they like fried up some bologna, and I was like, I'll have some bologna. I haven't had it in a while. I was like, I need to go buy some bologna.
It's,
it
you know-
was the kind with the big red strips on it. You'd peel that
Yes,
off, and then it was the big thick ones.
It's one of those things that it's okay to eat it every once in a while. Just don't live on it every day.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it's good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I was actually at I was on vacation, and we stopped at Shoney's. Remember I had Shoney's
Of course you
everywhere.
do.
Yeah, for a breakfast buffet. That runs till 12 o'clock or 1, and they had fried bologna on the bar, and
On
I'm
the
like,
buffet.
okay, I've got to have this. I've got to have this.
The one time, and we've really gone off on a tangent.
We
now,
have.
but
It's all right.
The one time I got sick on a roller coaster, we were going to Kings Island, but beforehand we went to the Shoney's all-you-could-eat breakfast buffet.
Yes.
I was probably 19, and I think the only buffet they maybe had in Powell County was like the Druthers Salad Bar or something at the end of the week. So we swing by the Shoney's Breakfast Buffet. I'm very excited to eat as many plates as I can. I distinctly remember the last plate I made was this like hash brown mix with mushrooms and onions and hollandaise sauce. Great idea.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great.
So we get to Kings Island. We ride 3 or 4 rides, and by the time we're waiting in line, at this point they had the King Cobra. Do you remember that?
Oh, do I?
It was
Stand
a ride,
up? Yeah.
Stand-up ride. And so the sun's beating down. We're waiting in line, and as we go to get on, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. So I jump across, but there's a line in front of us, and they were like, people wouldn't move, and I'm pushing. I'm like, please, and I just let loose on this poor guy's backpack. I felt so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, and I just ran to the bathroom. And so what I learned was a buffet before a theme park
No.
is not a good idea.
Well, probably not.
It doesn't sound like
That's
it.
the folly of youth. So the point is, don't do that. So I'm glad you learned that already.
All right.
No fried bologna.
No fried bologna.
No, you have to eat fried bologna, but just
Oh, the thought of it terrifies me.
Really? Have you? I mean, do you eat bologna?
I've had bologna. I've not had bologna since I was a kid visiting my
I
grandparents
was
in St.
literally the same way,
Louis.
and I hadn't had it in that long, but some fried bologna, a little bit of mustard. It was on just white bread.
Ooh.
that's what we grew up on, you know. Oh, it's delicious. That's what I'm bringing her. She's
So
going to
you're
bring all
saying
this
bring-
strange stuff. I'll show her some stuff.
Some fried bologna sandwich. Here you
That's
go.
all you need.
A trade-off.
All right, so you like barbecue. What else? I mean, because Lexington has a pretty good mix of it. We've got some really good Mexican restaurants.
Ooh, do you love enchiladas?
All right.
Really, I'm not picky with my food. I like all food except for blue cheese. I'm out on the blue cheese.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm not big on ranch.
But I'm also allergic to it, so I call it death cheese.
Okay, that's that's
Oh,
fair.
well. I mean, would it be that extreme?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
It just makes me itchy. I get hives.
Search the station for it. Get rid of all of it. Yeah, it's like
I mean,
Brian Milam and nuts.
That's right. I mean, you know, his is really bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
but okay. All right. Well, you can be exposed to it, but you won't
yeah,
die.
I can be around it. I would just have to ingest a lot of it, and then it makes me itchy. But
Let's
it also
see.
smells
it's
funky,
just,
so I'm
so it's just slightly
very
itchy.
opposed.
Okay. Well, so it's an inconvenience cheese more than a death cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
All right. Great. Well, so weekends, people can watch you weekend mornings.
Yep, weekend mornings. Oh, I love dogs too.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll show you pictures of my
Sergeant.
dog Vader as soon as we're done here.
Perfect.
He's a pug.
Love it.
He's getting old and gray.
Uh-huh.
He sounds like a
Aw.
lawnmower at night whenever he's trying to sleep. He snores. Jim, what's that face? Do you like?
That's funny.
You like that rugged dog?
That's funny.
We can't take him out. We walked him to the farmer's market, which is maybe a half mile from our house last weekend. By the time we got there, he's making this noise, and people are giving us a look, like, "What are you doing to this poor animal?" So I had to pick him up and carry him. So the Vera was in the baby seat, and I'm holding this dog, and people are
Aw.
just looking at us and laughing.
That's awful.
Yeah. So that's what I got going on.
You could have put him in there with Vera, though.
We actually tried to fit him in the,
Yeah,
in the
snuggles.
compartment under the baby seat,
Oh
but
my
he
goodness.
didn't like it. He got out.
Huh.
So if you were at the farmer's market on Southland last weekend and you saw a sad dog, that was me.
Well, do you have anything you want to contribute now?
I guess if people want to
now I
connect
got
to
the
you,
giggles.
well, that's fine. At least somebody's enjoying this. If people want to reach out to you on social media, how should they do that?
It is WKYT Megan for Twitter and Facebook.
Well, that should be easy enough to find then.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that is easy to find. And let's help her get some followers, so people can
Yeah.
stay up to date on weather and whatnot.
Reach out, say hi, welcome her to the WKYT family.
Oh, yeah. Megs and Bacon on Insta if you wish.
All right. It's just a bunch of pictures of food.
No.
'Cause that's what,
There's
mine's like
there's some
daughter and
story
food.
highlights of my dog from back home, which I
all
miss
right.
her
What
so
kind of dog was
much.
she?
She's a lab chow mix.
Oh, all right.
She is a hoot. She's very spazzy. She runs Zoom laps, and she's
Okay.
10 years old. I don't know how she does it.
With Vaders, we call it tazzing out. But yeah, same
Uh-huh.
thing. Like after you get
Oh,
back
yeah.
from a walk, sometimes
The
it just
spinnies?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
You
You know,
okay?
I don't have
You hate
dogs.
animals,
You
Jim?
know,
What's
you know,
going
I
on with you?
you know, I don't have dogs,
Okay. Yeah.
and I don't know much about them. I had, yes.
Well, they're beautiful creatures, and I don't want to say they're better than cats because I know we have a lot of people who work
they
at the
are.
station who love cats. But I'm just saying, if you were dying, a dog would try to help, and a cat would probably swat you off a cliff. So, do with that what you would.
Great advice.
Have you ever known a cat who wanted your affection? They were
You know,
wildly put up
I
with
don't have a lot of animals. You know, I'm not exposed to them, so I can't contribute to this conversation.
Well, I grew up with we grew up with cats. I had cats that I loved. My my cat Rover. I loved him, but we called him Rover because he acted more like a dog. Maybe that's why I liked him. I don't know.
Maybe. Probably.
Point is, if I have to choose between a cat and a dog. Oh, hey Alexa, what's going on?
Yeah.
We got a guest star. Alexa just giving us eyes.
Well, come here, Alexa.
It's a guest appearance. Andrea's out.
Well, come here and tell us what you think of Megan so far.
Alexa's second appearance on the podcast. Alexa, how you doing?
I'm the GOAT.
She's
What do you think of Megan? This is more about Megan and less about you.
Oh yeah.
I like Megan a lot. She's super fun, and she's young, and she's cute, and she knows what she's talking about. Probably more than you.
Well, now let me.
Alexa does
She's
need
right.
more young people in the newsroom. She's
do.
very outnumbered
I
with
know.
us.
Here's the problem with what she just said. She probably does know more than I do because she just got out of school freshly. So she remembers a lot of stuff that I've forgotten. That doesn't matter. Kids, if there are any of you listening, sometimes you learn stuff you don't ever use again.
I mean, there's a reason I took a major that
Use it
didn't.
at some
require
point
math.
in some random facet later on.
Except algebra 2.
No,
Algebra 2.
I'd like to apologize to all the algebra teachers out there. Alexa didn't
that
mean
was Alexa, so not me.
I do
All
have
right.
my math minor, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
kind of a math nerd.
Oh, a math nerd.
I took the extra 2 math classes after Calc 1 through 3 and DiffyQ. I was like, might as well.
Yeah,
For
let's
fun,
just
right?
do that.
Let's do
for
some math for fun.
I needed to stay a full-time student to, continue getting my scholarships, and
Yeah.
heck with it.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy doing some calculus too?
Calculus for free money? Oh, yeah.
For free money. That
Architects, weather people, teachers, and like engineers need
Hedge
math,
fund
right?
managers or something. Yeah.
Now, another person's joined us. We have to ask him
Yeah,
a
go
question,
for it.
too. One of our directors, who has been a director for 25 years-ish. Is that wrong? 20 years-ish.
Brack's not going to talk.
You're not going to talk? What do you think of Megan?
She's horrible.
Oh,
All
she's
right,
horrible.
well, there we go.
That's all we needed from Brack. Brack Benningfield, everybody. Thank you. And good night. I'm finished.
All right, no, that's great. This was a good time. One thing we do sometimes when we finish up the podcast, we talk about our favorite thing of the week, what we're enjoying right now. Do you all have anything? Oh, Alexa, what are you enjoying right now? Do you want to come start us off?
The summer.
Alexa's enjoying the summer.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, new girl?
I'm enjoying my new apartment. It's a super
Oh.
cute studio apartment.
What's your address? No.
No.
Andrea will always talk about her house and basically talk about where it is. And I'm like, Andrea, don't.
Nope. You will not find me. Don't even try.
I'm kidding. So you're enjoying your apartment, getting moved in?
Oh,
and-
yes. I have my couch. It's super cute. It's like a gray heathered. And I have my coffee table.
All right.
And I don't know. I just really love it. I have bar stools at my countertop.
So if
I
you
have
have
a white headboard.
seen somebody packing in a gray
Heathered.
gray heathered couch, that's her. So you can go. And would you? What's this question again?
Everybody who lives in Megan's apartment, say hi. Just your favorite thing of the week. What you're
My
enjoying
favorite
right
thing
now?
of the week. Oh my God, I don't know.
Okay.
People are
Cool.
sad.
That's
I'm
fine.
sad.
I mean, it can be food. It can be
You put me on
movies,
you put me on the
music,
spot.
all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I just finished Dead to Me on Netflix and really enjoyed
Okay,
it.
there you go.
Yeah, so
See?
that's good for me.
That's something. Everybody watched Dead to Me, and then my wife and I watched Murder Mystery on Netflix, the new Adam Sandler.
I thought it was okay.
That's what I was going to say.
I
I
mean,
thought it was okay. It was an hour and a half.
It wasn't great.
I think my wife liked it a lot.
It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but I laughed at times, and
I
it
did
kept my
too.
attention.
There you go. I laughed at times. I liked the cast. So there you go.
But they're so much better in that movie. Just go with it together. You remember that one with Adam Sandler
I never watched that
and
one. I'm a big
The guy with the eyebrow.
the guy with
the
the eyebrow.
eyebrow.
Who's at the plastic surgery place? The guy with
Right.
the
Oh,
eyebrow.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Gets me every time.
Okay, so you all have seen that movie.
Oh, it's hilarious.
All right.
Oh yeah, you need to watch that one.
That's good. There you
Just
go. Well,
go with it.
is it
It's
streaming
funny.
also? Oh, we'll find it.
It's somewhere. Yeah,
I'm sure it's somewhere. Everything is somewhere.
I've got to get ready for the news.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have news to do, but I appreciate you all giving me this time.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
some content for all our listeners and to get to know the new girl.
Can't wait to see y'all.
All right, bye
Well, I
everybody.
guess I don't
Okay.
see y'all,
Yeah,
but
they'll see you.
you'll see me.
Oh, they'll see you.
Oh, they'll see you. And then, so normally I'll say bye, and then Andrea will do a weird bye out. So then,
That long bye that she
yeah.
does.
So now
okay,
one of you all get to do it.
go
All right.
ahead.
To take a crack at it?
You want,
Yeah,
now
you can do
you
it.
have to go bye.
Oh, that's how I pictured it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there
it.
you go.
All right,
That's
so
exactly-
so
yeah, okay,
So
all right.
go ahead, Victor.
All right, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Perfect.